In today's video, I want to go over an open beta that is available and free right now. Anybody can jump into it. Beat Saber has also gotten a free update, so we'll stick with the topic of free for that. Azure Striker has been announced for the PlayStation 4, and it's coming relatively soon. If you don't know about that game and you're a fan of games like Mega Man, it should be right up your alley, so we'll talk that. And DCL, the drone racing simulation game, has gotten a release date. We'll talk that briefly at the end of this video. But first up, Disintegration has its open beta live right now. So it was going through closed beta testing for a little while, but now the open beta is up and it's available for everyone to download. It will be running today and tomorrow. If you don't know what Disintegration is, it features both a thrilling single-player campaign and frenetic PvP multiplayer. Obviously, with the beta, you're getting the multiplayer. In multiplayer, the Graph Cycle pilots and their ground crews compete with a variety of unique unit abilities and arsenals to dominate the battle. Join the technical beta today and compete against other pilots and their crews. There's a lot to go over with Disintegration, but it's a very interesting sci-fi shooter. It has you pilot a heavily armed Graph Cycle and command your troops on the ground in Disintegration, a sci-fi FPS like no other. Join the multiplayer technical beta today, and it features a thrilling single-player campaign, PvP multiplayer. It's set in a near-future Earth where the only hope for human survival is through integration, a process developed to preserve human brains and robotic armatures. You play as Romer Shaw, a former Graph Cycle pilot in command of a small integrated resistance still grasping onto fading memories of their human selves. With the domineering Rayon forces set on eliminating the final remnants of human society, it's up to Romer and his crew of outlaws to fight back and reboot humanity. Pilot a variety of armed Graph Cycles and command your crew on the ground by leveraging a variety of unique unit abilities and mastery of your own personal arsenal to dominate the battle. Obviously, I'm giving you a little bit of the background on the story itself, but in the beta, you've got 7 unique crews, 2 different modes, 2 dynamic maps, and progress will not be carried over to the main game when released. The beta is only available in English. The full release will support multiple languages. They also wanted to note this is a technical beta for Disintegration's multiplayer portion of the game and is still in development. You may encounter bugs, matchmaking problems, placeholder items, frame rate drops, and other unforeseen issues. The open beta will be playable from January 31st today, 10 a.m. to February 1st at 11:59. That's Pacific time, so if you're on the Eastern time, you will be able to play a little bit longer. Unfortunately, in a case like this, just downloading the beta would be an issue, but thankfully it's only a 3.87 gigabyte download, so it'll be a very, very quick download, and you can jump into the action that Disintegration offers right away. A pretty chill way to kick off your weekend, try out a cool sci-fi first-person shooter, and again, open beta live right now. Also, staying on the topic of free, Beat Saber gets 3 more free tracks with its latest update. The songs include Exit the Earth's Atmosphere, Ghost, and Light It Up. Beat Saber continues to have songs added to it all the time. Sometimes the songs are free, such as when League of Legends' shockingly catchy K-pop hit Pop Stars was added. Other popular songs, Crab Rave was added as an April Fool's joke as well. So they've been doing a lot of quality work on it. Other music packs, they do have them. They're paid. Beat Saber is widely considered to be one of the best VR games available, and it's one of the most notable VR games as well, as this is a game that's really everywhere. I think the majority of people do know about Beat Saber, but cool to see that game's success over the last few years and it continuing to get updated. So check out the free update. And of course, Beat Saber is a game that is exclusive to PlayStation VR, so you do need a VR headset, but it's one of those games that really does make the PlayStation VR worthwhile, and I would go as far as to say that it's a legit system seller for the platform. Other great games on VR are obviously available, with things like Firewall Zero Hour being a plus title in the month of February. And then you've got games like Astrobot Rescue Mission. It's a really good time to own PlayStation VR, and Beat Saber is up there with the best titles available. Alright, moving on from that, Azure Striker Gunvolt Striker Pack comes to PlayStation 4 on April 23rd. I am super excited for this, and we got an in-depth post over on the PlayStation blog from Matt Papa, producer at Inti Creates. And he noted, quote, "It gives me so much joy to announce that our Azure Striker Gunvolt series is making its long-awaited debut on PS4 this April. After the release of Azure Striker Gunvolt in 2014 and Azure Striker Gunvolt 2 in 2016, I had always hoped that one day we would be able to bring the series over to the PlayStation. This way, all of the people who love the kind of 2D side-scrolling action games we've been making for over 20 years can finally experience a series that is bursting at the seams with everything we love in a video game." While it's true that the Gunvolt series features the 2D action gameplay that that has become synonymous with Inti Creates over the years. It's all of the other features that weave it together that make the Gunvolt games our pride and joy. Anime-style characters and world created in high-quality pixel art. Really dig the pixel art in this game. I know it's another thing that's been done to death a little bit in gaming, but I think for this style of game, especially harkening back to the old school, you know, Mega Man style of titles, it works, and it gets it done pretty well. You've got classic-style action game elements woven into a deep storyline. There's a lot of text in the title, a lot of dialogue as well, so that adds another layer to the game. Songs performed by the game's heroines ramp up the action, gameplay that's welcoming for new players and veterans, and they note we want everyone to be able to enjoy the story of the Gunvolt game, so we put systems in place that allow players of all skill levels to customize their experience to increase the challenge or give Gunvolt and Copen an extra edge against those particularly tough bosses. With the other improvements we put in place, like overhauling the graphics and UI, increasing the frame rate to 60 FPS from its original 30 FPS, so that's definitely going to be a welcome inclusion. The PlayStation version is noted to be the ultimate way to experience the original Azure Striker Gunvolt titles, and I hope that you all have an absolute blast with them on April 23rd. Again, noted by Matt Papa, producer over at Inti Creates. These games are really good. Again, if you like your Mega Man style games, if you like 2D action games, Azure Striker Gunvolt is going to be right up your alley. I just hope they get the pricing on this right. I believe this exact pack was released on the Nintendo Switch, and as is the case with a lot of Nintendo Switch titles, was priced rather high. I don't know if it was $39.99 or $49.99, but it was a hefty price point. It's $39.99 now on Nintendo Switch. But it might have launched at a little bit of a higher price point. Whatever the case may be, I think $39.99 would be pushing it a little bit too far. I think a $29.99 price point would be perfect, especially because naturally people are going to look at something like the Mega Man Zero collection that's coming out in February, and that includes 6 games, and then you'll have Azure Striker Gunvolt at $40, only containing 2 games. I know the comparison, you can say it's apples to oranges, but still, it is something that I expect people are definitely going to look at if you are fans of this kind of game. But nonetheless, Azure Striker Gunvolt Striker Pack will be coming to PS4 on April 23rd. Again, crossing my fingers and hoping for that $29.99 price point, because I think it would work out rather well at that price. Alright, lastly, I also want to note DCL the Game launches February 18th. The drone racing simulation game has gotten a release date, and drone racing simulation game DCL the Game will launch for PS4 on February 18th, announced by publisher THQ Nordic. Yeah, chalk it up to THQ Nordic. They've got absolutely everything under their belt in terms of releasing games. You want a big budget open world RPG? They got that with Biomutant. You want a remaster of a SpongeBob game? They got that with SpongeBob A Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated. You want off-road racing titles? They got that. You want drone racing simulation titles? They got that with DCL the Game. So what is it? DCL the Game is a drone racing sim where players control authentic and also crazy drones that maneuver at extremely high velocities through impressive tracks. Racing through the streets of Torino, Italy, or over the Great Wall in China is a tough challenge and a unique experience. Not only that, the velocity makes the drone special to fly, but also the very small turning circle. Although the flight model of the drone stays very close to reality, the drone models do not. You can fly a fluffy unicorn or even a brick. Authenticity, it does note the game is modeled closely on real-life drone flight behavior, so close that the top performing pilots in the game can compete in the DCL draft selection, where pilots will be drafted to real-life racing teams competing in the DCL. 4 distinct flight modes. You've got GPS mode, arcade mode, angle mode, and then acro mode. They all have a distinct playstyle and will play a little bit differently than one another. Game modes include free flight, time attack, and online multiplayer. Up to 30 people. You can choose from 27 different tracks. You've got Torino, Italy, Great Wall of China, Lac, Switzerland, Neom in Saudi Arabia, to many other racing locations, so that's great. Choose from 3 unique physical presets for your drone: lightweight, DC-19, and heavyweight for a very different flight behavior. Highly realistic flight physics in these 3 setups keeps competition balanced. A global leaderboard for each platform, and then post-release they also did make DCL real-life tracks available in-game prior to the actual event. Qualifying for real-life races takes place inside the game and track editor, which allows creation of individual tracks. However, that looks to be for PC only. A rather interesting game, and again, I find the most interesting element of this is it is a THQ Nordic published title, and they are just putting out mass amounts of games, whether it be Darksiders, whether it be SpongeBob, whether it be Biomutant, which that's a game we need to hear more about. It's been quite a while since I've heard anything about Biomutant, but nonetheless, now they've got DCL the Game. That's dropping February 18th, and by the way, it will be coming out at $39.99. If you do want to pick it up on PC, it'll be $10 cheaper at $29.99. And that's going to conclude this video. Again, throughout today and tomorrow, you can participate participate in the Disintegration technical beta test. That is an open free beta that is live right now. Check that out. Beat Saber gets 3 more free tracks in its latest update, so if you're a fan of Beat Saber, if you're still waiting on the sale, check out that update. You got 3 more tracks to enjoy. Azure Striker Gunvolt, a very good Mega Man style game, 2D action title, will be headed to PlayStation 4 on April 23rd, and then DCL the Game launches February 18th. That's going to conclude this video. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.